So I've been playing with the dog with the reflection of my watch. It's like a big cat following it.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's been little reunions here. Yeah.
Baloo.
Ito.
Sunny D.
Yeah, so two of these guys I haven't seen since
That's little Jimmy.
Little Jimmy coming down off Baden Powell, which is a while ago. So they've just been sucked into the vortex of this wonderful place, but I am breaking free. See you down the trail, guys.
Adios.
Yeah.
So that is an osprey nest. Those are little baby ospreys. They are pretty noisy. Good morning! It is day 113. I had a great day yesterday. So from the campsite, after clearing out all the ants, continued walking along the escarpment. It's just so beautiful up there. Then I dropped down and into some volcanic area, lots of little volcanic rocks and things to go through. The trail a little rougher than it has been, just with all the rocks to avoid, but quite nice, sort of winding through some shrubby areas. Felt more like being back in the desert. A couple of open patches, and then came out by a hydropower station and a lake. Saw some pelicans. Didn't expect to see that. That was pretty cool. And then, yeah, it was a little bit of an uphill, and got to some big power pylons, and then turned off trail to head to the Burnie guest ranch, which is an amazing place. I'd heard good things from the hikers, and it's warranted. Linda is the owner, just wonderful lady. She, she's purpose built a great place for hikers to hang out. There's showers, there's washing machines, there's a swimming pool, and she does sort of combination deals for tent site, laundry, shower, pool, and you can also go in a bunk room. And there's also cabins available if you want a little bit more luxury. And then home-cooked dinner and home-cooked breakfast, which were beautiful, and heaps and heaps of food. So basically just, you keep going until you're full, which is fantastic. And a little store, which, while it's small, it's got pretty much everything you want. For reasonable prices as well. So I did a 4-day resupply from that little store, and then ice creams and cold drinks, and oh, it was good. Chocolate milk. I've got a thing for chocolate milk and milkshakes at the moment. Yeah, so I spent the afternoon just relaxing, edited some videos, actually had good Wi-Fi. So I was able to upload some videos, which I've been struggling to upload them. Which is why I'm so far behind. Just haven't had internet. Sierra City, Belden and Chester, the internet has just been pathetic. So I come here in the middle of nowhere to the Burnie guest lodge, ranch, not sure, and yeah, have great internet. So finally this morning, and then a whole lot of people, well, some guys arrived that I haven't seen for quite a while. So they've been seeing my name in the trail register and slowly catching up. Yeah, so 8:30. Very hard to leave. Such a nice place to just relax. But I've left with a full electronic charge, full stomach, and a full pack. Now today I've got 11 miles to get to the Burnie Falls, which is a little bit off trail, but it's meant to be really neat. And there's a shop there, so I can have an ice cream. And then, yeah, just see how the day goes. I think today is going to be exposed again in the sun, but there's more water, so I don't have to carry quite as much water. Yeah, right. So, good to be back on trail and enjoy these beautiful views and this beautiful weather. Alright, back on trail. Oh, it was the Burnie Mountain Guest Ranch, it's the official name. Yeah, that's where I came from. Beautiful views, apart from the power lines, but you can see down the escarpment. And now, officially back on trail. This area just has reminded me of Africa. I think it's the reddish soil, and it's quite dry with sort of scrubby trees and that. It's quite neat. So Linda, who is the host at the guest ranch, she's giving some really good information about what's ahead, and talking about, she thinks, or the word is that this year they're actually expecting it to be quite a bad year for fires. Because the rains were so late, the grass is growing up, grass and scrub is growing up really tall. So if there's a fire, that acts as a ladder for the fire to climb up through all the grass and that, and up into the trees. So she was telling us what to watch out for planes. If there's lots of planes circling around, it means I'm probably pretty close to the fire. So, yeah, just something to watch out for. 2017 was the year of fire and ice, and if we're going to be getting the fires, we're going to be the year of the fire, ice and shakes, because of the earthquakes that have been happening, which have affected the trail a little further south. Thankfully I haven't been affected and didn't even feel them. Wow, this dragonfly. This is the one I saw in the pond. It's really different. The wings are a lot further apart. Look real. Beautiful. Amazing. Yeah. Aha! So you can go up the road if you want to get to the guest ranch. So you can see how red this soil is. That's why I'm thinking it's very much like Africa. Right, across the road, continue down. Got a bit of a drop down to get off the escarpment, and then the rest of the day is relatively flat, well, to the falls. Sort of very gentle ups and downs. Little cache of water. Unfortunately, that's an example of a bad cache. Caches need to make sure that they've got a place to put the rubbish so it's not going to scatter around with animals or wind, and make sure it's maintained, not just sort of dumped and left there. So it's great that people are trying to help the hikers, and they just need to be aware of how to leave a responsible cache. So I think this is the road into Burnie, but I'm going straight across and continuing on. This has been just such a beautiful trail so far. Just winding through the shrubs and that. Underfoot it's actually been quite smooth, hasn't been too rocky. Bits of shade, bits of sun. Yeah, beautiful. Alright, so we have Burnie Falls State Park and Highway 89 6.7. No, I think it's further than that. Much further than that. I'm pretty sure I've still got another 10 miles to go. Maybe there's a road short of where the falls are. It was lovely putting on my clean socks this morning, despite it only being 3 days since they were last clean. The dust has really been just caking on, and because it's hot my feet are sweating, so the dust gets through the gaiters, through the shoes, into the socks, and then just goes hard because of the sweat, turns it to mud and then dries it out. So yeah, the socks have been fairly harsh. But when I had the shower, I took the socks in, was stomping on them as I was showering, rinse them out, and then into the washing machine. So yeah, feel good. Not going to last long though. By this afternoon they're going to be fully caked again, but it's a nice little relief for my feet. One of the questions I get quite a lot is whether I listen to music or not while I'm walking, and I don't. I prefer to have my ears open and listen to nature, and I find my thoughts they just keep changing to different things, and I never get bored. I know probably majority will listen to music at some stages. Some only do it up hills, some do it in the afternoons, and some it's full-time listening to music, or podcasts is another popular one. And the things I think about, both past and future. So, for example, because this area reminds me so much of Africa, and in specific, it reminds me of Mali. And I lived in the capital for a while, Bamako, and there was a Hash House Harriers group, which is someone sets a trail through the bush. We're using either shredded paper or flour of some description, and you all start together and you follow the trail. So the flower just marks the junctions. So it's good, you get to go for a run, and it's quite social. Sometimes you stop part way through and there's refreshments, sometimes it's all at the end. Different groups do it different ways, and Mali is you just do your own thing and then you socialise at the end, and they have a running course and a walking course. You just go your own pace. In Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, in Kinshasa, the group, they would stick together a lot more. So the person setting the trail would set false trails so that the leaders would go up the false trail, realise it was false, turn back, and by the time they were back to the proper trail, then the slower ones had caught up. And that was a way to have all the different speeds, still get a really fun workout. But what I loved is you went to different areas around the countries, around the city, sorry. So you got to explore places you never normally would. In Mali, in Bamako, sometimes it would be cancelled just because of the security situation, but most of the time it was every weekend. Really good fun. So yeah, that's just reminiscing about that, or thinking about the future. You know, I've mentioned before the designing a tent to make when I get home. Also thinking about little projects to do to keep me busy. Looking at a possible summer project of doing a traverse of the ranges in the North Island of New Zealand from Wellington up to the top of Coromandel. Thinking about that. Thinking about my next through hike, which is possibly going to be Japan, trying to piece together a hike from north to south. Yeah, and just things just whirl around in my head. It's pretty cool. Sometimes it's a daydream and just expand on things. Sometimes it's building, like thinking about if I was going to build another camper van, and yeah, you can go into quite extreme levels of detail. So yeah, that's what I do to keep busy when I'm on good condition trails. When it's the rougher trails, and it's more concentrating on the trail itself. It's gone up a little weeny hill, so now I've got a little bit of a view opening up. This is looking back at the way I've come. Still see Mount Larsen just peeking over the hill. Right, and then this is the hill I'm climbing. Just a short hill. In fact, I think I'm at the top now. A sign, something different. Arkwright Springs, 0.2 miles. Still winding through the bushes. Still really good condition. And body's feeling good, and I'm actually pushing the pace because it just feels good to push the pace. Especially with such a good track. Ooh, this is different. Different trees and just going along the top of a bit of a drop-off. Oh, that shade's good. But yeah, just feeling good today. Full of beans, half day yesterday, lots of food, lots of drink. So the body's feeling like, let's go. So I'm expecting it's going to be a fairly fast time for this 11 miles. And another junction, rim of the lake spring. Okay, quarter of a mile. Guess there's a lake down there. And I'm walking on a rim. Yeah, I can just make out the lake through the trees. I just passed a girl. She's section hiking from Belden to the Burnie Falls. And her partner's up ahead, so she said to try and give him a fright because he'll think that I'm her. Didn't realise, I know I'm going quite fast, but it's not to actually catch up to the hikers that I realise just how fast I am going. But still feeling really good. Body's feeling really fresh and quite enjoying this, pushing the pace just a little bit more. I'll ease off after Belden Falls. I just felt like going fast for the morning. Here's a bit of an update. It's Reminiscing, it's much less to go than what I've done now. Just about to cross the main road, and it's another few miles to go still to get to the falls. It's a big solid bridge over a completely dry river. Looks like it's a big river when there's water in it, but absolutely nothing there at the moment. Nice little picnic area in there. There's some toilets and place for the horses as well. That's where I've come from. And there was a sign back there that said outlook to the falls was 0.8 miles. So the falls can't actually be too far away. Another sign. Right. Right. Burnie Falls, let's go and have a look. Post about Burnie Falls. There's been little information boards as well since I turned off the track. Alright, here's a little information about it. Alright, and here it is. Down I go. View from the upper viewpoint, but I'm going to head all the way down so I can see it from the bottom. Just absolutely stunning. Love that. It's coming out of the rock as opposed to under it, which is so cool. Again, it's coming out of the rock. Ah, look at that. Woohoo! Just beautiful. And then the whole thing. Wow. And here it is from another angle. Ah, just so beautiful. So my reward after going down to the falls is an ice block and cold coffee. Woohoo! So this is Tractor from Korea.
Yeah, from Korea.
And he has given me some Korean noodles to try, which I'm very excited about because I like Korean food. So thank you, Tractor.
Yeah.
Right, back up to the trail and back on trail. 1,232 miles to go. Woohoo! Alrighty, that was a really neat side trip. Well worthwhile. Those falls are amazing, just so beautiful. And nice to have a ice block and an iced coffee as well. So yeah, that was really nice. Well, the falls were lovely. The amount of people was just too many people, that's for sure. Just overrun with tourists everywhere. I just worked out what I did this morning. So I left at 8:30 and I arrived at 11:15, and looking at the map, it is 10 and a bit miles. So 2 3/4 hours for 10 and a bit miles. Yeah, that was a pretty good pace. I'm not going quite so fast this afternoon. Just going to plod along and yeah, see how I feel. And someone's left a water cache, which is all empty. So once again, it's not the best place for a cache because it's so close to the falls where there's a water source. You know, that sort of thing would be much more useful a few more miles away from a known water source. There's a big lake below. I'm going to be crossing over the dam, I think, at the end of the lake. It's a better view. That's where I came from. And here's a lake or a wide river, not sure. And just going along, not far from the dam now. Done a zigzag, getting lower and about to go across the dam. That's the dam. Look at the force of the water coming down there. Woohoo! Right. This view down the river. And that's a view upstream. So I was just crossing the road and these two wonderful people stopped, pulled over and gave me impromptu trail magic. A Coke, a peach, cold water, absolutely amazing. So this is...
My name is Mike.
Yeah, and I'm Accent, a true hiker in 2008, and we did hike about 800-900 miles in 2008.
Plus
2012. So
In 2012,
yeah.
yeah.
plus bike touring around the world as
A
well.
little bit of bike touring, but you know, when you see a through hiker, it's pretty clear. Light backpack and very fit. So we always know when we see a PCT hiker, if we got something cold to give them, we'll always pull over and give them something cold to drink.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it on this scorching hot day.
Nice to meet you, homemade.
Enjoy the rest of your hike.
Oh, what lovely people. The community of hikers, it's just brilliant. Oh, it was really getting hot, so that freezing cold Coke was so good. And this peach tastes really good as well. Fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much. So now it's steady uphill, but looks like a very gentle uphill for several miles. That was a bit of a hill. Opening up, looks like a big valley in front of me now. And from there, and here's the views. Big river coming down. That's the tail end of the dam. Hey, nice. Here's another new thing I've tried, a fig bar. Raspberry flavoured fig bar, Nature's Bakery. Tastes alright. It is pretty sweet. Probably a bit too sweet for me. 100 calories. Heading along this ridge and slowly dropping down to a creek. And then from that creek, I then have 2,500 feet climb over several miles, but steady climbing for quite a while. My nice flat section is over. Now I'm back into hilly stuff. As you can see in front of me, it's all hills. Ooh, thankfully it looks like we'll be in the pines for the climb up, because it is baking in the open like this. Oh, I will be glad to get away from these. Just ouch. They really grow across the track as well. Still heading up. This is a stream just in here, so heading up and then we'll be going across the top of the stream. I've been walking along the top of the ridge here, coming around and yeah, continuing along the side of the steep hill until I get to the stream. So it's relatively flat, just contouring along. There's a hiker over the other side of the valley. Cute little bridge. Alright, what is that? It's a dog. Weird. Right, so cute little river, and looking that way. Now I start climbing. Gets quite rocky, that river. Definite ravine down there. The shade is good. Been carrying this for a little while to try and see what the temperature is, and there you go, it's 36 Celsius. So that's 95 Fahrenheit. So not up to triple digits yet, but it feels hotter. Looking at the prints in front of me, it's like I've got two people somewhere sort of up to half a day ahead of me. I'd say closer to a few hours ahead. Oh, so that gives me a little target, try and catch up. Seen a bit of a view. It's been mainly in the trees, only just broken out into this clearer patch. It's been lovely in the big trees, bit of nice shade. I sure notice a difference as soon as you're out of shade. The views opened up, that's where I've come from. Some wind turbines on the hill there, and I continue climbing. Yep, here's two people in front of me. Said within a few hours, or a bit fresher than that. So those two, they're looking at heading to the next creek in about 7 miles, and they said there's a nice campsite a couple of miles past that, beautiful views. So I'll see how I feel, I might aim for that. They're a more mature couple, and the guy that I passed just after that last bridge is also more mature, which is nice to be seen again, because it's been all young people. I've felt really old on the trail. There've been barely anyone my age or older. So nice to start seeing more variety on the trail again. New flavour, hemp, sunflower, pumpkin seed. I would not get this bar again. It's got a really weird crunch to it, and it's really dry. Feels moist in my hand, but trying to get it down, I'm having to alternate a bite of the bar, chew it with that strange crunching sensation, and then have some water. So it's actually been quite hard work getting it down, but I need the calories. And another deer. Look at the size of the ears on that one. Wow. This is a nice little green bit. Some of it's a little overgrown, but it's pretty. Quite helpful, the little rock cairns showing, so that's where I've come from. And to know that I have to go down the road that way to this rock cairn, which then shows me this is where the path goes back in again. Nice and handy. That's pretty cool. 4 little things on top, and and then underneath, what's it look like? I've started heading downhill now, and it's about half a mile to the water source. It's 10 past 5, so by the time I get to the water, let's say 20 past 5, filter all the water, that's 20 to 6, and there's a campsite 2 miles on that has some really good comments about the views from the site. So I think I might push on. It'll be a slightly later day, but then I started later, so that's alright. Not the easiest to get to, and it's still water. It's not a creek. Oh, I've got these again. Alright, so filtering water. I've just been looking around, making sure that there's no poison oak or poison ivy here being next to water. But I seem to be clear, as far as I can tell. So that's the path to get to the water. It's actually pretty hard to see. So I've just done this little sign to let people know where it is. Because it's still water, I can't have a wash. I was planning to rinse out my shirt and wash my legs off, but I'll contaminate the water source if I do that. Right, so that took a lot longer than I was expecting. When I found out I had holes in my bladder, after my Sawyer bladder had burst, my CNOC bladder had holes in it. So I've been trying to find a smart water bottle and haven't been able to. So I'm just using a normal 1 litre bottle of purified water that you buy at a shop, and it's really useless. So I'm struggling with my water purifying, water filtering. Adina. Yeah, so it's taken a long time to filter. Next town, hopefully they have a smart water bottle, which works a whole lot better. At the water source were 3 section hikers. I didn't chat to one of them, but the other 2 are doing they started today somewhere up ahead, and they are going to Burnie. So just a weekend hike. Just saw another lady who looks like a section hiker going south, and there was one other guy at the campsite. Not quite sure what he was doing. Sections hikers told me to watch out because the first 2 miles are going to be really overgrown. They're not. Yeah, I mean the trail's been nice and wide, and there's a few little branches across it, but nothing too bad. Okay, I'll admit this is overgrown. Not quite a short stretch. Easy to push through. But yes, it is covering the trail. So I take back my derision of their assessment of overgrown. This is the trail. You can see it underneath, but actually trying to get through it, woo-hoo. There are only short sections before. This is by far the thickest. So the technique is you have both poles up and you brace them in front of your forearm, and you put it in front of your face and you walk forward and you're looking down where the trail is underneath. In the power pylons and the cut down forest, here's the view. It's the trail I came from. This is a pretty little butt. Been a while since I've had some nice flowers. Decent amount, purple, orange, yellow. Nice. So here's the view from my tent. The sun hasn't gone down yet, it's just hiding behind the clouds. And Mount Shasta is starting to appear. It was capped in clouds, but they seem to be disappearing. And there's the sun just dropping below the clouds. I love how those clouds are outlined right at the very top. Look at that. That's beautiful. And there is the sun disappearing down behind the hills. Look at the beautiful colour of the clouds. Oh, it is absolutely gorgeous. And the sun's just disappearing. Gone. There's Mount Shasta, starting to get a bit of a beautiful tinge of colour. There's a guy cowboy camping there. So you come here for the view and he's completely missed the sunset. Love the way the light is off those hills. It's just gorgeous. Look at them all just layered. Woohoo! That is just beautiful. This is a lovely campsite. Just hills and hills and hills. That's the hill where the sun went down behind. Not so many hills that way, but there is Mount Shasta.